Hello everyone, welcome to my reaction channel. I'm finally back with a new video for you guys, and I found somebody of interest that I think would be great for us to check out, because I just been hearing about this guy named Morpars on YouTube, and his short, specifically the Certified Australian Moment and the Neil the Seal thing, have popped up into my feed, so I figured out why not react to the dude. I will be leaving a link for him in the description of this video, and this is a complete solo video on my channel, meaning no one else except me is reacting to this. I am the only one reacting to this, and I am going to open quite a few of these, and I'm hoping that these are what we can all react to. All that. And thankfully, they are on the YouTube short end of stuff, so there's no ads that will get in the way of my reaction. So, yeah. And I will be making sure to credit Morpars in the description of the video, and throughout the video, I will be saying how good it is to actually react to him. But that also depends on my thoughts. So let's get started with Certified Australian Moment.
Australia has a lot of spiders, but recently we found a new one, because of course we fucking did. And the new one is the most certified Australian moment I've ever seen. For a bit of context, one of the several thousand spiders
10,000 species of spiders. Okay, since we're talking about Australia too, if you are not comfortable with images of spiders and stuff, close your eyes for this, because arachnophobia. Arachnophobes beware. Promise you. But yeah, this is definitely a bit of a interesting thing to see.
species we are home to is the Sydney funnelweb,
Oh.
the deadliest spider on the planet. Because of course it's down here. Where the fuck else did you think you were going to find it? These scary looking fuckers are highly venomous and can flatline you with a bite in 15 minutes. And if you think wearing thick clothes will save you, be aware the bastards have fangs long enough to punch through shoe leather.
I'm sorry. What? That thing's the deadliest spider on the planet. It can kill you with a bite in 15 minutes, and it can puncture shoe leather? Okay. That's nuts. But again, Australia is its environment, so if it stays in Australia and doesn't come anywhere else, then it is not going to be a destructive force of nature all over the world. And I'm pretty sure that this one is one of the species that we found in Australia or something. Not me specifically, but the scientists that discovered it. I stayed here in Florida for the whole thing.
Now, why do I bring these little nightmares up? What is the one thing worse than a spider rocking armor-piercing rounds that can send you to heaven with same-day delivery? A bigger spider rocking the same perk setup.
Oh my
That's right,
gosh.
Australian scientists have found a brand new species of this funnel web that is even bigger. How much bigger? Well, the standard Sydney funnel web grows to around 5 centimetres or 2 inches. And I mean, if you're asking me, 2 inches is more than enough. 2 inches is actually fucking huge.
I mean, he's not wrong. 2 inches is more than enough for a spider or an insect. And that is actually pretty big when it's like a bug or a tarantula or something like that.
By comparison, this is the new one. It's twice the fucking size, cunt.
Holy crap. That thing is double. That's 4 inches. That's twice the size of the regular one. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That would be terrifying.
4 inches of 8-legged menace to the animal kingdom. But that isn't even the best part. You see, do you know what they named this thing? Do you know what?
Newcastle's... No, probably something to do with Sydney Funnelweb or something like that. I don't know. I genuinely do not know what they would name this thing.
Professional scientists named a supersized version of the most dangerous spider on the entire fucking planet. The Newcastle Big Boy.
I'm sorry. What? Newcastle Big Boy. Oh my god. Who approved this name? Seriously, who approved that name? Oh my gosh, this is... who came up with the name and why did they name it that way?
Deadliest spider on the entire fucking globe. Big Boy. Only in Australia. Australia has a lot of...
I mean, to be fair, I would also probably be swearing a bunch too. Just make sure that just want to make sure that the recording is actually... Yeah, that looks like it's good enough for the size on this. And the reason why I opened each of these open in individual tabs is so that I didn't scroll into an ad or something, because, let's all face it, ads are annoying, but it's the way how YouTube keeps its revenue coming in. And now, the next one is platypus are weirder than you think. Let's see how that is, because okay, just saying, the only time I've ever seen a platypus was more of a cartoon, but I've also seen pictures of an actual platypus, and they look pretty similar, but just one is brown and actually here, and the other is not. But again, it's just one was a cartoon character and the other was an actual animal. Let's see what more parts is talking about here, because holy crap, the Newcastle Big Boy is the most dangerous and deadliest spider on the entire planet, and they called it Big Boy. Why did you guys... Okay, who authorized the Big Boy name in that? Seriously, I'm curious.
Platypus are weird, but I'm not sure you quite understand just how fucking weird. So, everyone knows the basics. They lay eggs, they sweat milk, and they look like God hit randomizer on the spore creature creator and just called it a day.
I mean, it really does. It looks like a mix between a duck and a beaver. That's just my honest opinion. But at the same time, I don't have any reason to criticize any kind of animal for how it looks or acts. That's its own mind telling it what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. I have no influence over these animals, so I wouldn't be able to tell any of them what to do or how to do it. But yeah, we're already off to kind of a weird start. They can lay eggs, they sweat milk, and they look like that.
But you see, mate, that's barely even scratching the surface of weird platypus features. First up, as is the qualifier for any Australian animal, did you know they're venomous?
Sorry, what?
No, I'm not fucking with you. You heard me correctly. Male platypus actually have venomous spurs on their hind legs.
Gosh.
These spurs are multi-purpose, acting as defense from predators, as well as a tool for throwing hands with other male platypus during mating season.
Okay.
And while their venom is non-lethal, that doesn't mean that getting stung by them doesn't fucking suck. See, platypus venom can cause extreme pain and swelling, and to ensure you remember not to fuck with them again, these effects can last for several months.
I'm sorry, what? Several months?
and have no treatment or antivenom, so
Oh
if
my.
Perry stabs your shit, your only option is to cry about it. Next on the list of offensive capabilities, I shit you not, platypus share the same hunting method as sharks.
Wait, huh? How did they share the same hunting method as sharks do? Seriously. I did not even know they could do that.
You see, that big-ass bill isn't just for show, as it contains enough surveillance equipment to make the CIA blush. Possessing the ability to sense changes in pressure in the water, but most importantly, containing electroreceptors that track electrical signals from muscle contractions made by their prey. Meaning that when whatever they're chasing starts quaking in fear, they know about it. And last but not least, as if those things weren't already unbelievable, we recently discovered something new. Platypus are fucking biofluorescent.
Wait, what?
They glow. If you hit these things with a black light, they go bright fucking green. And the best part of that is, we have no clue why they do it. I guess it just means Perry was a biblically accurate platypus man. I'll give up, man. Who fucking designed this thing?
I gotta be honest, I'm on his side on this. Who designed the platypus, and why can't it glow like that? Seriously, who gave it the ability to do that? And most importantly, why did they give that thing the ability to do that? It makes no sense, in my opinion, to give it something that can only happen when you hit a blacklight on it. But, yeah. That's, oh gosh. That is actually pretty interesting of how the platypus is. But, next we have Neil the Seal is an absolute menace. A seal? How is a seal a menace?
This seal is such a menace that he routinely gets the cops called on him. Introducing our protagonist, Neil the Seal, a 600-kilo absolute unit of a southern elephant seal from my home state of Tasmania in the land down under, who is known for, above all else, being an absolute fucking menace to polite society. But despite his crimes, we all still truly love him. But what are his crimes? Well, see, he seems to just fucking hate traffic cones and road safety in general. Has regularly been caught trespassing, and then once he has been caught trespassing, belligerently screaming at locals because they won't give him his fucking fish.
Someone give him his fish so they can shush. And he trespasses onto people's property, and he hits road barriers, and he hates traffic cones. This is already off to quite the awesome start, am I right, everyone? Besides, this is pretty funny to see a seal do, because I have had no idea a seal would do this.
And has been known to just block roads by plopping his fat ass down directly in the middle of them. However, hands down, the funniest shit he has ever done was just straight stopping this random lady from going to work. I shit you not. This motherfucker crawled out of the ocean, up the beach, crossed the road, absolutely fucking bodied this woman's poor letterbox, and then proceeded to plant himself directly in front of her fucking car. She was then unable to go to work because this half-ton beefcake was camping her driveway for so damn long. Local news had time to drive out to her house and cover the fucking story.
Wow.
Now, this is a lot of menace for a single seal to cause. But the funniest part of this is, old mate isn't even fully grown. He's like 5 years old. If you think he can fuck things up now, wait until he's nearly 2 solid-ass tons.
That is 2 tons of just blubber. And holy crap, that's humongo.
Of blubber, and takes issue with the wall of your house. I do not think that seal damage is covered on my fucking insurance plan, dude. This seal is...
I think somebody might have left a comment in here. Oh yeah, look, right here. I googled it. You can indeed take an insurance policy against the eventuality that Neil will take issues with your house. So yeah, the Australian people here are covered by the insurance people. So that's cool, okay? I think that's actually really cool that they allow you to take out insurance claim policy on the seal if he ever decides to take his anger out on your house and break parts of it. But this is pretty interesting. And the next YouTube short that our friend here, More Pars, made is called Wombats Are Tanks. I know that there are wombats in Australia, and that's pretty much it. But now we'll get to learn a little bit more about them, and we'll get to learn a little more about Australia in general with some of the other stuff. So let's see.
Wombats defend themselves by throwing it back.
I'm sorry,
but to
what?
understand how the fuck they actually do it, you're going to need to learn a little bit about them first.
Okay.
You see, Australia is home to 3 species of these bad boys, all of them equally adorable, and very importantly, all being burrowers, meaning they dig out a nice little hole for themselves and the family to live in, because, like the rest of us, they can't afford a fucking house in this economy, man.
I mean, he isn't wrong for a lot of other people who are struggling. I'm not saying that I am struggling with that. I'm just saying there are lots of other people that are in that situation where they can't afford a house. And I will say this, I hope they get some time to get a good house and good neighbors and a good neighborhood. When they get that, congratulations. If they didn't get it, I am sorry for bringing this up, but still, this is one of the more relatable things that More Parts has actually said in this video. But hopefully everyone can afford a house to some degree.
They go to around 1.3 metres in length.
So 4.2 feet, but 1.3 meters, alright?
But despite being small, they are built like fucking tanks.
Oh my gosh. That thing is huge. Holy crap.
Weighing in at a chunky ass 35 kilos, but despite their weight, I shit you not, they have a top speed of 40k an hour. Now, the fact that they can nearly get booked in a school zone, coupled with them being a tank class marsupial, forms the start of their defense strategy. So you see, a fun fact about wombat anatomy is they spect all their defense points into their ass. Rather than having fat and muscle, a wombat's cheeks are made out of 4 thick plates of fused cartilage, making it...
If you guys want to know what cartilage is, and if you just don't know, or you would like a refresher as to what that is, if you forgot or you don't want to, but I'm going to tell you anyways, cartilage is what's part of your nose, and that's pretty much what shark jaws are made of. So that's 4 thick layers of it in the wombat. Oh boy, that would make it literally a shield, like an immovable object that they can just ram into anything with.
Extremely solid. And this Kevlar BBL allows for the fucking funniest defense mechanism I have ever seen on an animal. Basically, if a predator tracks down Mr. Wombat to his burrow, it'll stick its head in and start trying to dig him out. In response, the wombat will line his ass up with the tunnel door, chuck the gear shifter into reverse, and fucking floor it backwards up the tunnel into his aggressor, slamming his ass into its head. The impact then squashes the predator between his steel cheeks and the roof of the burrow, straight up crushing its skull.
That's Mortal Kombat right there.
Oh, like a Mortal Kombat fatality. I cannot make this shit up.
I actually played Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat 11, and oh my gosh, that just seems too close for me to say. And then he just says that, and oh my gosh, like a Mortal Kombat fatality. Oh my god. And that is nuts. Holy crap. Wombats are nuts. Okay, well, that exists in our brains rent-free now, but do not step on this rock. Okay, let's see what the rock is supposed to be.
Stepping on this rock could straight up paralyze you.
I'm sorry, what?
That's because this isn't actually a rock. That is a stonefish, a species of underwater menace native to Australia. And
Because of
coming
course
as a
it
surprise
is.
to absolutely no one, it is also the most venomous fish in the ocean. Because of course it is. As if fucking snakes and spiders weren't enough,
Why
now I
is
can get
everything
packed
venomous?
up by a pet rock. But why is this Pokemon reject such a threat to my mental health? Well, you see, stonefish use their special venom for defense. However, unlike most other animals that do this little f***er doesn't have the decency to dress like a neon sign to warn you. No. This bastard is a 6th prestige prop hunt veteran, having evolved some of the most impressive camouflage in the animal kingdom to make hunting
that's
easier.
impressive.
And once they've set themselves up, they are basically indistinguishable from Patrick Starr's house.
That actually does look like something that would be put into the cartoons. I'm just saying, that does look accurate. Oh my gosh. I have actually grew up watching a lot of SpongeBob. A lot. Like, lots of it. So, just saying, I know a lot of the references from SpongeBob and any of those that I did not know at the time. I grew up and started understanding a bit more every once in a while. But, again, I hadn't seen SpongeBob in a while, so my references might be a little outdated and stuff, but, you know. But that does look like Patrick Starr's house side by side with the actual picture.
Now, this is a fairly major problem as they love to live in the shallows on the beach.
No.
And that venom we talked about earlier is stored in these 13 giant, highly toxic spines that deliver venom when pressed on. You can probably
That was
see where I'm going with
blue.
this. Considering it's hard enough to spot these things while you're paying attention, if you were, say, on a romantic walk along the beach and that venom we talked about earlier is stored in these.
That was
13
blue.
giant, highly toxic spines that deliver venom when pressed.
Look at that, guys. That is literally blue. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not just one kind of venom. That is highly toxic venom. And oh my gosh. It would only be fair to say that if you stepped on it, it's gonna hurt like all heck. Oh boy. That's gonna be painful. And, not to mention, this is blue venom coming out of 13 giant spines sticking out of their fin on their back.
On. You can probably see where I'm going with this.
Yep.
Considering it's hard enough to spot these things while you're paying attention, if you were, say, on a romantic walk along the beach with one of the
I am not gonna follow in that, but I will follow the thing of walking on the beach while being distracted. I think that's what he's going to go with.
homies, and while distracted by his ethereal beauty, weren't paying too much attention to where you were walking, it would be very easy to place your foot in the wrong spot and step directly onto 13 hypodermic needles, which would then deliver a ginormous dose of neurotoxin straight into your system. Oh, you thought it was
neurotoxin? I think that's the most potent and most dangerous kind of venom out there.
Venom. No. You see, these things maxed out the toxin skill tree, producing a mixture of 2 neurotoxins that can flatline you by collapsing your heart and lungs in under an
Collapse your heart and lungs in under an hour with just 2 different venoms mixed together. Oh my.
hour. And even if you survive, the sting still causes extreme pain, swelling, and tissue necrosis.
Oh no. Okay. I will take his advice on not searching that up because I do not want to see what tissue necrosis is. But I think it's the rotting of dead skin on your living body while your body is still alive. That area where it was injected, it's just rotting on your still alive body, which is 1, gross, 2, interesting in a gruesome way. But 3, holy crap, that is nuts.
Because this is Australia, where even the scenery is trying to one-shot me. Stepping on this rock.
I mean, he said it here first, everybody. The next one that I have opened is the world's most dangerous bird. Is it talking about something huge, like an emu or something? I believe Australia has emus and all that, so let's see.
This bird can straight hit you with a Mortal Kombat fatality.
Finish him.
Introducing the cassowary, a species
Okay.
of ratite native to the land down under. And for once, guys, it's not venomous.
Okay, it's not venomous, guys. That's a good thing. But I think that's gonna last 2 seconds, and then we're gonna see exactly what this thing can be capable of.
Can still flatline you though, and I'm going to tell you how. You see, these neon chickens belong to the same family of birds as the emu, and as such share their impressive size, coming in at a solid 7.
Holy, 79 kilos, but 174 pounds. Oh my gosh, that is heavy.
29 kilos and growing up to 6 feet tall, meaning the short kings in my audience could, in theory, mount these things like a chocobo. But what makes them stick out from emus? Well, you see, the cassowary is basically a spec ops emu, being twice the weight, highly territorial.
What in the heck? You don't need to do that. Holy crap. I get they're highly territorial and twice the weight and stuff, but that doesn't mean that they have to be so rude about it.
And most importantly, coming with a combat
Oh
knife
boy.
strapped to their foot. That's right, this is a cassowary claw, and it's the reason they
Holy
can hit
crap.
you with a fighting game finisher. You see, these claws are a full 5 inches long. And you know, I mean, honestly, 5 inches, way too big for anything, and especially if it's something that's going inside me. And if you anger the
true.
tactical assault turkey, that is exactly what you're gonna get, as their go-to defense method is to kick you square in the gut with that kitchen knife and attempt to disembowel you.
I'm sorry, what?
And I mean, even if the kick doesn't put your insides on the outsides, that kick is still going to send you flying, which can cause some fairly major problems. Problems like the incident that occurred in 2012.
Oh, 2012. Yeah. That would be a big problem.
Where I you not, a cassowary ran up behind a random tourist,
Oh.
hit the heavy attack button, and kicked the guy down a small cliff into the ocean.
Is the dude okay?
I mean, luckily he survived, but the fact that I live in a country where at any point I could be hit with a sneak attack by a kaiju turkey is terrifying.
Yes, you don't say in more parts. It is terrifying. Holy crap. That sounds like it would be terrifying for the dude who was kicked down the cliff into the ocean, for crying out loud. Oh my gosh. The next one is Australia lost a war to emus? I'm sorry. Hold up, back up a bit. How did you lose a war to emus? Seriously. Well, looks like we're gonna find out. And again, if you guys want to check out more parts, link will be in the description of this video so that you guys can check out the actual creator without me talking about him and talking over him every once in a while. But again, link will be in the description of the video.
Australia lost a war to emus.
Ow.
But how? How the did we lose an armed conflict with flightless birds?
Yeah.
Well, it all started in 1932 when farmers in Western Australia wanted to grow wheat. There was just one major problem. That's emu territory. And emus really like wheat. And coming in at 6 foot tall and 40 kilos in weight, they can eat a lot of it. So when breeding season came around, the emus migrated through the farmland, and these poor farmers were overwhelmed by a tyrannid swarm of man-sized poultry, 20,000 emus strong. These feathered tanks then
20,000.
proceeded to completely steamrolled through the fences, into the fields, and started laying waste to the wheat. The farmers attempted to fight back the initial wave with rifle fire, but their efforts were, putting it lightly, completely useless. This ginormous L made the farmers pretty bloody angry, so they gathered together and went to the government to ask for help.
Okay.
Sir, 20,000 emus have hit the wheat fields. Fuck me, mate. And so the government declared the emus enemies of the state and sent in the army to commence the Great Emu War. The entire 7th Heavy Artillery Division was deployed to WA, armed with 2 LMGs, 10,000 rounds, and the sole objective to blast anything with feathers.
Okay, that just seems a little excessive here from just me seeing that. 10,000 rounds, 2 LMJs, and the objective to just blast anything with feathers. That just seems a little overkill in my opinion. That's a little excessive. Just my opinion right here. But again, that's just holy moly. That's a bit much.
A little bit excessive for an overgrown turkey,
Right?
if you ask me. And upon their first deployment, the army immediately ran into a major problem.
Oh?
Emus are fast.
How fast are we talking?
Really fast, clocking a top speed of 50 kilometers
31 miles an hour or 50 kilometers an hour.
an hour, which meant that once they opened fire, the emus would immediately bolt out of range of their weapons. But they still took a crack at it, and then immediately stopped when both LMGs jammed after only dropping 12 emus.
Oh my gosh. How did you only drop 12? Holy crap. How did you only get 12 out of the 20,000 emus? Seriously, emus are huge, I get that, but still, they're giant targets that you could literally shoot down. How did you only take down 12 of them?
This embarrassment led the army to retreat and rethink their plan. So a few weeks later they returned, this time mounting the LMGs on trucks in an attempt to run the birds down. However, this also didn't work, because after figuring out that those trucks meant they were about to be turned into a KFC family bucket.
That is a lot of chicken, oh my gosh. That is definitely a family bucket from KFC.
The emus started leaving scout birds who would warn
Smart
the flock
feathered
of
friends.
the approaching trucks, which gave them all enough time to book it before the army even got there. And whenever they did catch the emus, they found out they were kind of... Because
How so?
emus are mostly feathers, and there's a lot of places you can hit on them without doing any damage, meaning it was taking around 10 bullets for every 1 bird. So after a month of blood, sweat, tears, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, the army managed to bring down 960.
That is not even close to half. That's not even half the population, because there was 20,000. That's 960. That's less than... Oh my... 960 out of 20,000. How do you... You know what? Never mind.
The population was 20,000. This was an issue as, unlike America, our defense budget is not a bottomless pit. So the army had wasted all that money to achieve absolutely fuck all. So the government just kind of built a really long, really shit fence around the farms and called it a day. How the fuck did we lose this? I could have done a better job with a boomerang and a cricket bat.
Speaking of boomerang, I actually have one. Here, let me go grab it for you guys to see. Here is my boomerang, everybody. This is my boomerang. It's actually a good one. It actually does come back to you. You just have to throw it at a specific angle. And you have to have enough room to do it. Or you run out of room and it stops being fun and it starts being very difficult to mess around with it, because it's a boomerang. You throw it around and it comes back to you and stuff, but still. Okay. Next up is kangaroos are menaces. How so, more parts?
Kangaroos can and will beat you up.
Oh,
That's right,
Okay.
just because it's not venomous doesn't mean it can't knock you on your ass.
And
Fair
Australia's
enough.
most iconic marsupial can do just that.
Because they are way bigger than you
Oh
think.
my
With our
gosh.
biggest species of roo coming in at a ridiculous 2.8 meters
2.8 meters, translating into 9 feet and 2 inches. My gosh.
in length. And with the iconic hop, they've got a vertical jump of 3 meters. I mean, honestly,
10
with a stat
feet.
spread like that, they don't belong in the outback, they belong on a fucking NBA court. As if that wasn't enough, they're also built like tanks,
Oh
weighing
my-
in at a full 90 kilos
Ow.
of roid-raging rabbit muscle, and being able to move way faster than anything that heavy has any right to, pegging the speedo at a max of 70
70 kilometers an hour is translated to 44 miles an hour. Okay, but
k an hour.
why?
Meaning if you make them angry, a juiced up rat the size of a small car is going to run your ass down and beat the f***ing brakes off you. And I'm not kidding when I say they really will rock your shit, because roos are professional kickboxers,
Oh, whoa.
with males routinely fighting MMA to win female attention. When they fight,
Okay.
kangaroos will lean back on their tails as a stabilizer and immediately start scratching and kicking the ever-loving shit out of one another. And those kicks have enough force
Okay.
to crack bone.
Wait,
And
what?
as if getting drop kicked by a muscled marsupial wasn't bad enough,
They also, for some reason, have the same bite force as a grizzly bear. Because
What?
why not? Now, even with all of this, there are still animals stupid enough to view a roo as lunch. Which brings
Oh,
me to the
no.
most terrifying thing that they do. When threatened, kangaroos will hop into a body of water and wait for whatever is chasing them to follow them in. Once the predator enters the water, the kangaroo will wrap its arms around their neck
Sorry,
and
what?
just straight up drown them.
What the heck,
man?
dude?
I share a country with psychopathic tren rats.
That guy's gonna be
Kangaroos-
that guy at the end of that is perfectly fine. Besides, the kangaroo just kicked him in, and I'm pretty sure the dude climbed out after the whole ordeal. The next one is okay. The last one that I'm reacting to for today is the world's most painful plant. But how's a plant painful?
Touching this plant will put you in the hospital.
Wait, what?
This is the Gimpy Gimpy plant.
The Gimpy plant? Who came up with the name for that?
A piece of foliage native to the land down under. And surprising no one, not only is the thing venomous, it is in fact the most painful plant on the planet. Because yeah, no, of course, man, even the fucking leaves down here have a problem with me. Growing in the rainforests of northern Queensland, these hell bushes are covered in tiny hairs that upon closer inspection aren't hairs at all and are actually thousands of hypodermic needles.
That's thousands of those. And it's venomous too. Oh my gosh. Why does Australia have a plant that can do this? Why does it have a plant like that? This just seems like something that would be too much even for Australia.
Needles waiting to stab you and break off inside your skin if you so much as brush them. Once inside you, these needles will inject you with, I am not kidding, neurotoxin and cause absolutely excruciating pain. I mean, like comedic levels of pain. With one person describing it as being covered in hot acid and electrocuted, and another woman saying that it was straight up more painful than childbirth and she'd given birth 4 times.
Oh my gosh. Straight up more painful than childbirth, and she gave birth 4 separate times. Holy crap. That just tells you how much this thing can hurt.
And the fucked up part is, the neurotoxin isn't even lethal. So this spiteful cunt of a plant is hurting you purely for the love of the game.
Mind you, there are reports of people saying getting stung by this thing is
would
actually
you-
worse than
Oh,
being put
he
on the
does this
ground. This is
willingly.
because Groot's little hellspawn cousin here can continue hurting you for literal years after being stung. This is because those thousands of little hypodermic needles are actually made out of silicon, meaning your body can't break them down.
Oh,
and with how thin
no.
they are, your skin will usually close up over the top of them, meaning that these neurotoxin emitting slivers can sit inside your skin for literal years, releasing more neurotoxin any time that they're moved or disturbed.
This constant, chronic, agonizing pain is so unbelievably bad that there have even been records of, trying not to get banned here, people Alt F4ing existence to make it stop. This particular incident came from a man who accidentally used one of the plant leaves as toilet paper.
I don't think it gets
Oh
much worse
my.
than neurotoxin to the nuts.
Touching this
Let's have a moment of silence for that poor man that did that and couldn't take it. Oh my gosh. That just left me speechless. Okay, well. Note to self, do not trust the plants in Queensland, Australia, especially the Gimpy plants, because while it looks like it's covered in hair, if you take a lot more of a closer look, it's not hair at all. It's a bunch of needles with neurotoxin that will hurt you for literal years, longer than any of the platypus venom. But that's all that I wanted to react to today. And I just wanted to do that so that we could learn a little more about Australia. And because, well, been a while since I did any reaction videos for you guys. This is my first reaction with this creator in the video. So hopefully you guys enjoy this whole thing, because I genuinely enjoyed the actual videos. The YouTube shorts were actually pretty interesting, informal, educational to some extent, and full of plenty of jokes and a lot of swearing. But thankfully, you won't have to hear me swear at all, because I don't want to swear. I don't want to swear on YouTube. That's just a big old nope to me on swearing for any of that. But I'm gonna wrap up this video now, and I will see you guys in the next one. But tell me, which creature from Australia did you think was the most intimidating out of what we saw today? I am going to just say, Neil the Seal does not involve in that, because he's just doing as he wants. He's just a seal goofing around and just wanting some fish. That's all. And he's going to Tasmania, where Morpars lives. Anyways, link in the description to see the original creator. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody!